Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm Kathy Lee and I'm going to share my tutorial with you for the one hinge pocket card that I made for Country Craft Creations. This is really easy. It's probably less than a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock. In this case, I used the fabulous artisan cardstock from countrycraftcreations.com. You can get this in Tammy's store. It comes in a variety of colors. And for purposes today of the tutorial, I'm using the linen, which is kind of an ivory color. So I'll share that with you here. Again, just a quick preview. I had a preview of this little pocket card a couple weeks ago on my YouTube channel, and it basically is kind of a little, it's almost kind of like a mini album, and you can put actually several different things in this pocket. It's really nice to be able to give for gifts. So you open it up, it has the front page, and you can decorate it as you wish, but the pocket itself is just a one hinge pocket, just like you would construct a mini album. And these pockets are only 1/4 inch, enough to hold like I have a package of hot cocoa mix here, but you can put like a Kit Kat bar, anything that is small enough to use as a gift inside these little pockets. And there's other things that you could use as well. I did try to use uh, like some marshmallows to go with the cocoa, but these are a lot thicker than 1/4 inch, so it kind of became a hindrance in that matter. So I just added a cute little candy cane, and then also it has a little tag, and you can decorate that as you wish. This is this has a punched edge, but I'll give all the dimensions and everything here in the tutorial, and we're going to start that now. So basically, I have, like I said, this is enough of one 12 by 12 piece of paper, almost. So there are a couple other elements in here, like my tag. I know I didn't get that, but so I actually cut this as kind of a last thought, I think. So anyway, there are 6 pieces to this tutorial, or to this card. So the card base is 9 1/4 by 5 1/2. So you'll need one of those. And then the one hinge pocket, or the page for that, is 8 1/2 by 5 1/4. And then you'll need 2 of the pockets, which are 5 1/2 by 3 1/4. And then, of course, your tag, which is 5 by 3 1/2. And then I have a simple pocket closure hinge. This is going to close up the hinge page so that you can make this a pocket for your tag. Okay, so those are the pieces you'll need. So for the first piece, which is your card base, I'm going to take this out so we can score. And basically, we're going to score this at 4 1/4 and 5 inches. That is the only scoring we are going to do for the card base. And that is going to be the base of our card. Okay, and then for the one hinge page, we're going to score at 1/4 inch. I know that seems small, but it does work. 1/4 inch, 4 1/4, and then 8 1/4. And we are going to fold that in half. And then your hinge is basically, excuse me, going to fold up here on the 1/4 inch. And then on this side for the 1/4 inch. And that's going to be our page. And it doesn't need to be perfect, believe me. Once you get this sealed with your hinge, it's going to come out just fine. Okay, so our hinge, we're going to score at 1/2 inch. And we're just going to fold that in half. And that is going to create our pocket, like so. Now for this, we will miter the edges so that you have, so that you can get rid of any non-sealed edges on this side. And then for your pockets, and we are going to score this at 1/2 inch and 3/4 on 3 sides. So 1/2 inch and 3/4, 1/2 inch and 3/4. And then basically we are going to fold on all of our fold lines, and then we're going to cut out this score line and leave this little tab, excuse me, and then we're going to cut this so that we can adhere it to this to make our cornered pocket. So I have another piece here. I need to finish the 3/4 inch. I started to fold it and then forgot what I was doing. If it's easier for you though, of course, just 1/2 inch and 3/4 on 3 sides. Okay? Okay, so that's all the scoring we're going to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my first pocket, and we're going to start with that. For this one, I already got my base done, and I'm going to score on all 3 sides. I'd rather use my squeegee because it's so nice and easy. It's kind of like Tamar's spatula, which I am a big fan also of the Harbor Freight Tools. My husband always shops there too. So, but I had this in my stash. It's been there forever. In fact, I can't even remember what I bought it for. I think it probably came with something that I had, and it is fabulous. It works really well. I also use my bone folder, but this does really well for smoothing out that glue underneath your elements that you're paper panels and elements that you're gluing. Okay, one more. Okay. All right, so for this pocket, we are going to cut this edge, and then we're going to take off this edge all the way to the second score line, just like that. Okay, and then we're going to cut up to the second score line and clip this off. And you're left with this little tab, and this little tab is going to help adhere and hold the corner of that pocket. Okay, So same on this side, same on this side. So clip all the way up to the first score line, and then take the whole corner out. Cut all the way to the second score line, and then just snip off the tab. Okay. Now, all right, so for this part, I highly recommend score tape because it needs something very sturdy, especially when this is being, moved around and you're pushing things in and out, and you want to make sure that pocket is going to hold to that page. So we're going to use score tape on 3 sides, and then I'm just going to use my art glitter glue for the tabs. So let's see. Woo, I'm getting low on the 3/4 or 3/8 inch. Okay, so I'm just going to put my score tape on. Need that handy dandy burnishing tool. Okay, and then we're going to miter our corners as most of us would. It just makes everything so much more makes everything so much more finished. Okay, so we're gonna cut those. I'm just taking a little bit of each edge. Now I start from the fold line or the inside to the outer. I think that's OCD, and I have to be honest, I'm sorry, I am really OCD. So you're going to see me clean up in between each one of my cuts. I feel like I'm more organized that way. Okay, so we're going to fold it like this, and then that, and that's how we're going to create a pocket. So first of all, though, on this section, I'm just going to use my art glitter glue. And these don't need to be mitered. They're pretty small enough to where it's not going to cause any issue with gathering or getting in the way. So I'm just going to hold that for a minute, not a minute, but a few seconds until it sets. And this stuff does set quickly. I love it. It is really nice. It's great for our mini albums and I use it for my cards. I've always used wet glue, and some of the wet glues I've had in the past are they soak into the paper, and then you can see where the glue was if you use it like in the middle or you're scribbling. That's not pretty. I don't like it, and I've found that many glues in my past I'm not a happy girl with those. Okay, so we're just going to pull up our score tape. Yeesh. Okay, now here's a little trick, my little trick of the trade, especially when doing pockets like this, because you want to make sure that they're straight and they're not because when you're working with dimensional pockets, they can get out of control. So what I usually try to do is make sure that when I see this line of sight and it is straight, that's when I can kind of just like push it down. It'll stay until I feel like it's going to be easy to put on my page. Now, there we go. When I get ready to put it on my page, it's nice and straight. So, because this is ready, and guess what? My hinge pocket page is not. So I'm going to take this and get this ready. Okay. What I'm doing here. Okay, so I'm just going to clip off, miter my corners. I'm going to go a little bit shorter. That way I know for sure I'm going to be able to not have any edges showing. So there we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this piece up. Now also I will say this. When you put your for this section, when you're putting your hinge on, try not to put it on too far to the edge. We want a nice pocket, but at the same time, if we need to do any adjusting with this score line, and as I said, don't worry about it not being straight, because what we can do is adjust it a little bit to where we can smooth it out and have it flat by the time we get to the point where we're putting it on our page. See how nice that is? Okay, so I've already done that piece. All I need to do is lift this up. Now, because this is a pocket, what we're going to need to do is shore this end up for our book. So our book is going to be here. This is going to be inside like that. So we're going to want to put a bead of glue across the bottom. That way this will become our pocket. Okay, so I'm going to do that now. And this is another thing that I love about the art glitter glue. So it comes out, especially with the nice metal tip, it comes out in such a nice, easy bead. There you go. What about that? Pretty cool, huh? Okay. That is our hinge pocket page. And we're going to set this in here. Oops. Yee. Took the score tape off that. Just like that. Just like you would any other mini album, except that the page itself is already created. So we're just going to set this in like this, and then we're going to put this on top. Now, just a couple things that I do want to share. I preferred, because I've done it a couple times, I prefer to put the page in first and then the pocket on, because what we're going to do when we get the first one on, it's going to have a little bulk, and we get ready to put the second one on, we're basically going to have to fold it up like a book and then put it on. So we're going to do that. So for this piece here, I'm just going to put some 1/4 inch score tape. Okay, so that is our pocket page. All right, and then we're just going to put it in our cute little card base. And no, cannot do it with these nails, I tell you what. Alright. And that's my, oh, open pocket. This is the end. Don't pay attention to that. Okay, we're just going to, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to eyeball it. This is actually 1/4 inch shorter on each side. So we'll need, or excuse me, 1/4 shorter. So we're going to put 1/8 of an inch at the top and 1/8 inch at the bottom. And you know, I will just eyeball it. I'm feel pretty confident about that. Okay, there we go. There's your pocket card page. Okay. And we'll fold these back. As you noticed in this one, it's really kind of like a card, so it opens almost like a book. This whole piece is connected to that spine. So, and we'll do that after we get our pockets on. Okay, so that brings us to our next step. I've got this pocket ready to go. And we're going to put that right on here. And we're going to leave this down. And we'll just position it as close to the edge as we can on at least the outer and the bottom sides. Score tape is a little bit forgiving, which is kind of nice. Okay, and now that I've got it down, I'm going to take my bone folder and go in there and really burnish it and press it down. And there is my pocket on my page. The next one will go on just like this. Now, when we get ready to put this, the second this second part of the page on, we are going to actually shore these up and close it with some art glitter glue, because this will make it nice and finished. Again, I like finished edges, and that'll make it so nice and finished, just like this card here. So I've done that on this one, and then again on this side. Okay, so let's get our next pocket out. Now that my pocket is on that side, I'm going to put this here on this side, and I'm going to put as close as I can to that edge. Oh, see, it looks like it's just a little bit too long, and I'm not sure why that is, but it's possible that adhering it that way. Oh, it's my hinge. Okay, so I'm just going to put it this way and try and close it up. There we go. Okay, now, and don't worry about that little edge. Okay, and that, okay, so not every corner is going to shore up together, and it's usually because score lines are not always the same, and that was one of the reasons why on this one I basically put some pattern paper, kind of, again, finished. I'm all about finishing my edges. So so whether it's using other elements to hide certain blemishes, I mean, again, it's handmade. It should have some element of being handmade. It's not going to be perfect. We are humans, right? So basically, that's what I did. So that is, now again, as I mentioned, I put a little bit of glue just to adhere the pocket against the spine. Now this one is not going to be a problem, because that one, because I adhered standing up. It is all about staying closed against the spine. And then this one. Okay. And we'll just try and seal those edges as much as we can. Okay. And then that is your one hinge pocket card. And all you have to do is decorate. So I also have some elements that I'm going to decorate this one with. So I will share the dimensions on those. Now, of course, because this is a 1/16, I left a 1/16 border on almost all of my cardstock. For this one, I did basically the same thing here, but I'm just using these as my front, and then I'll do a little bit of decorating on this Santa Claus, and I'll add some other elements. This one I already started on, so I've got this cute little Santa Claus, and all of these papers are from the A Very Merry Christmas from Cartabella by Stephen Duncan. And I've inked my edges. I've used a little bit of foam tape, and then each one of these pieces will be parts of my card. Now some of these, this did not come out the same. I may matte that on some red just so that I can make sure that it gets to the 1/16th, but isn't that adorable? Okay, folks, if you have any questions or any comments, we'd love to hear them. Also, don't forget, Tammy is having a contest until, I believe it was November 1st. I announced this in one of my videos prior to this. If you are purchasing anything from www.countrycraftcreations.com, you have a chance to win a $25 gift certificate. But in order for that to happen, the designer that gets the most comments as you check out with my name in the comments, Kathy Lee, then you will get the chance to win that $25 gift certificate. And this is also a contest for the designers. We get an opportunity to win a $25 gift certificate to the store if we get the most number of entries. So that's all I have for today. Again, leave me any comments, questions. Be happy to follow up and share with you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.